It's worse. Much worse than we've allowed ourselves to think. I've watched an entire beach sink back into the sea in the same time as it took me to finish university. How differently me and Mother Earth commemorate graduating a degree. Where I'm from, it didn't take a pandemic for us to realize how little people really care about the front lines. We have been plagued by this plight long enough to know that the phrase "we live where you vacation" has always been more plea than pitch, been beseeching the rich to switch tact and acknowledge the impact of their actions and inactions. Remember that what's their tourist attraction is our permanent residence. But Magneto says, in chess, the pawns always go first. So it seems our worth at worst is reduced to being canaries cursed to burst breast in the coal mines at best, to being frogs left to test the waters until when the pot gets too hot and we should all hop out. See, the thing about developing states is that we seem to have been tasked with bearing the brunt of the weight of climate change on our backs, drafted into a war we can't fight on our own, where we adapt as a survival tactic, run entire countries on solar power and ban single-use plastics, try desperately to curb the path to panic in our politics, but climate justice be anticlimactic. When to declare the existence of global warming gets us labeled as heretics, never mind that in the tropics, heat has become a familiar enough face to wave at us when he catches us in the streets. How every year we meet more hurricanes ready to know us on a first name basis while erasing our neighbors. How our eco-friendly plan before ours and not three. Reduce, reuse, recycle, and rebuild after every environmental tragedy, I guess. When fossil fuel emissions fetch fat commissions and line pockets with the power to pay away their problems, ignorance becomes a quick fix meal. When you fill up on a false sense of security, it becomes easy to keep yourself out the kitchen, easy to conveniently forget there's something cooking, hard to hear when a pot be boiling over. The entire Caribbean is constantly bubbling beneath the surface, but the first world feast table so long that they got a whole lot of choices. So what's the harm if one melting pot makes a meal burnt to a crisp? Makes a meal burnt beyond their capacity to consume it. It seems that either way we slice it, developing states are most susceptible to coming under fire. We sit in the hot seat of a hothouse earth, a majority population responsible for the least destruction, begging and pleading for someone to listen before it's too late, while the 1% keep the climate debate at a stalemate, because the truth is that the truth is only inconvenient to the people most affected by it, only hurts the ones who can't afford to ignore it. And I wonder, what will become of the pawns? If they let us become martyrs, will they remember us when we are gone? 2 degrees of separation don't ever seem like much until the two sides of the spectrum are life and death. When our fears fall on deaf ears, are we just wasting our breaths? Will it take the ocean becoming a mausoleum of people and nations sacrificed to extinction before the rest of the world acknowledges the problem? Or will ignorance continue to be bliss, the catalyst to the human apocalypse?